not up the middle chute, you're going up the high chute, furthest away from you. Finish the row, finish the farmer's carry, that's the way you will go, all right? But all of the others will question. Jay, can you just run up there for me? Thank you. No. There you go. You're going up the sled push. Perfect. So you go all the way around and sled push, pull, lunges, burpee broad jump. That is the way you're going to go. Right? She has done her sled and she's now going to exit that workstation by coming down. As soon as the next athlete sees their athlete coming, they're going to step forward and be ready to high five. And boom, there it is, off they go. Alrighty, now remember on the farmer's carry, when you pick them up, you go all the way around to drop them off. You put them down, you come straight into the in-arch. You do not run another lap, unless you want to, but I don't advise it. All good? Alright, DJ, let's play some tunes.
Mobiles.
What is hybrid training? Hybrid training is designed to push every part of you. It's strength, it's endurance, it's recovery. People aren't just focusing on one thing anymore. It's about becoming a balanced athlete. How do you improve endurance while maintaining strength? Should strength and cardio happen in the same session, different times a day? And are you recovering the right way? Hybrid training is simply more complex. On top of that, people have jobs, finances, families, relationships. All of those have an impact on performance, and it's hard to quantify. That is what we set out to solve with Hybrid Charge Energy Intelligence, to recapture the cumulative impact of training, recovery, and life. We want to guide people to the right training at the right time, so they can train with more precision, structure, and control.
Choose you. Choose everything. Choose cardio, choose strength, choose running, choose gymnastics, and choose to revel in the identity crisis. Choose training blocks, peak weeks, tapering and arguing about programming like it's a philosophy. Choose EMOMs, AMRAPs, WODs, and Metcons. Choose to break PBs on your TTBs. Choose this time to go unbroken, and choose to fear all new turfs. Choose quality nutrition, powerful electrolytes, protein that's tested, and gels that re-energize. Choose RX. Choose Elite 15. Choose solo, doubles, or relay. Choose your better and choose to get after it. No resets, no regrets. Choose you.
welcome to the final race of the final chapter of an incredible 2025-2026 season. We have one more exciting race left here at the PUMA HYROX World Championship in Stockholm. And we're going to bring it to you with the best team in the studio with me, as always, at Jane. We got Greg. Before we get into this race, it's been fantastic days of racing here. Jane, a highlight that stands out.
I just never want this weekend to end, but absolutely the biggest highlight for me was Linda Meyer finishing her race on Thursday night. It wasn't her night, and she had a really tough season, and she did not give up, and the women on the stage supporting her was just incredible.
She did indeed show the spirit of a true champion going through this. Greg, how about you?
For me, like, we focused on the Elite 15 a lot of the time in these live streams, but I think it's the community coming together. We see the 15 athletes, we see the 15 best in the world, but there's been thousands here this weekend. There's been amazing performances, and everyone coming together, supporting each other, having such a good time. It's been brilliant.
And of course, you know there's one member still missing in the team. It is Lauren, and we got goosebumps up here already. I can't even imagine what it must feel like for her right down in the middle of everything happening.
Honestly, we've just seen the adaptive races wrap up, and that was phenomenal. That's their World Championship done, and now it is time for the Invitational Relay. Atmospheres as they go don't get much more fun than this. If you cast your minds back to 2025, you know that things got a little bit spicy down here in the transition area, and that is where I'm going to be all race long, bringing you all of that little bit of tactical action throughout the broadcast.
I would be very surprised if it does not get spicy once again here tonight. If we look at the lineup, if we look at the athletes that we have there. But let's take a bit of a look back, because we had fantastic racing happening here the entire time in the last couple of days. We had the doubles going on. That was absolutely incredible. So looking at what it looks like, right? We've had so many elite athletes. We had them mixing it up and so on. Did you, performances then stood out?
Yeah, well, yesterday was a full day of doubles racing. So we had the women's doubles on, and we also had the men's doubles. And today we had a full day of mixed doubles, and there were so many highlights. Greg, what were some of your favourite moments?
Well, we saw yesterday Holly Archer and Saskia Millard take the win in the women's doubles. They didn't quite qualify for the elite doubles due to litigate, if you like, but they came back, they smashed their race yesterday. Holly's come back again today and raced with Luke Greer and won the mixed doubles in incredible fashion. And then we also saw Fabi Eisenlau, who partnered with Jeremy McConnell in the men's doubles on Friday night. He partnered with Paul Weindl, and they went sub 50 today to take the overall win in the men's doubles. So fantastic racing across the board, though.
And of course, we want to look at today's race after all those incredible races we've seen already. So let's take a look at the start list of the 20 nations, the 80 athletes that we're going to see here. Of course, we're going to talk about Sweden as the host. We're going to talk about Germany with the world champion in there. But coming into the venue here today, it was so much fun. We got underdog nations in there, and one that brought a crowd, for example, is South Africa. And they are 100% convinced with Danelle, Wesley, Kyle, and Vicky in there. Hey, top 3 is possible. Top 5 is almost guaranteed, is what they're saying. There might have been a drink or two involved. I'm not sure, but it's very positive attitudes there. And then, of course, Canada, Cole Learn, Scotland, Liam McCrory. So much fun in the pre-race interviews. If they bring just remotely the same fun down to the floor, this is going to be a wild ride.
It really is. There's some fantastic teams, a number of fantastic athletes, 80 fantastic athletes really, but they're going to have to dig deep tonight. Running 1 kilometre and then the station is very different to your typical HYROX. They're going to hurt, but it should be a lot of fun.
And just if we look back at last year, right? I mean, drama unfolded. Drama we're going to see here tonight again. Let's call it Huntergate if we want to. Greg, what's your prediction here? Are we going to see the VAR in play?
I think almost certainly. I was thinking this. We see penalties, we see yellow cards, we see red cards in the singles races. We see more in the doubles because it's faster. Every second counts. Well, in the relay, I think we could see a lot of that going on for sure.
And I'm really looking forward to it. It was so great to see. We just had that shot off the warm-up zone there. You saw the Germans with their flags and everything. Tim Venus brought sunglasses to the interviews earlier in the week and so on. And you know, looking at the German team, for example, Linda Meyer, she was under pressure there a little bit. You mentioned one of the highlights for you, but it's still not an easy one to come back from. And she is facing fierce competition that we're seeing here. Lena Puttas, Eugenio Bianchi for Italy, for example. Jane, if you look at this lineup, if you look at some of the stations, you're the station specialist, who's got a shot at maybe taking a station win here today?
I absolutely cannot wait to see JK on the lunges. That is going to be unreal. He loves finishing strong, and he's going to come into this nice and fresh. Absolutely can't wait to see that.
Well, and of course, the man in the picture here, the world champion in the men's elite, he is down there with a fantastic team as well. Last little team tactics there. And unfortunately, there's one person we will not be seeing down there on the floor, but therefore, we have her in the studio, the woman who dominated the season, who did the unthinkable that we did not think would be possible this quickly. With us in the studio, Jana Wittrich. Jana, great to have you here.
Thank you for having me. I'm super excited to be here.
So now I have to ask the obvious question. How happy are you to be here, and how sad are you not to be on the floor?
Yeah, look, I'm a bit disappointed, a bit upset that I'm not out there on the floor, but I mean, this is the next best chair, so I'm happy to be up here and commentating.
And you know, there's absolutely no doubt this is going to be a lot of fun down there, but also a lot of fun at commentating here. And even though you're not in the race, it's been an incredible season. I mentioned it, the thing we thought is not possible, right? So you did, well, you won every single major. If you look back at the Joanna before the season started, the Joanna that has never raced in front of the family and finally got in Melbourne, got the shot and so on, if you would have told her, you know what, by the end of the season, I got the sweep, I'll win them all, what would you have said?
Honestly, I didn't think it was possible, and I wrote in my notes on my phone before the season to be consistent and to podium at every major, and I think I exceeded that. It's very surreal to be the first woman to create history in the sport and go 4 from 4. I would have loved to go 5 from 5, but honestly, I'm so proud of the season I've had, and yeah, it's just amazing.
And then you came here and a lot of people were saying, hey, race favorite, right? And everybody kind of had the expectation that you must win the races. But what was your own expectation actually going?
Honestly, is to stay consistent and to kind of do the exact same thing that I've done all season. Look, I would have loved to win, but you can't win everything, and I'm still proud of the race that I pulled together, and I'll take a lot of learnings from that. But I'm just so happy to be here. The atmosphere out there on Thursday night was something I've never experienced before, so I'm just so grateful.
And we're going to keep chatting in a second, but you mentioned the atmosphere, and again, you see the lights are going out. We're really close now to the start, and Lauren is right in the middle of the atmosphere.
Well, actually, Till, I'm right in the middle of the grid because for the very first time, the Invitational Relay is going to be taking place on a grid format. Now, what is going to happen is every single team has 4 athletes. They've decided by the point system that is going to come into place over the course of this season, but leading into the Elite 15 next season. So at the time of the cutoff, these are the top 4 athletes for their nation. Now, they each take on 2 stations and 2 kilometers of running each. It basically means it is all out racing. Just over here, if we do a little spin around, this here is the transition area. They're going to go grid in over the camera's shoulder, all the way around and in through here. When they come in, they tap their partner and the partner runs out on the next station. It is fast, it's furious, and honestly, it's one of the best parts of the whole weekend.
And exactly that transition area, this is where we've seen mayhem, not just last year at the World Championship, for example, but we've got the relay, obviously, as part of every age group race as well throughout the season. And it is the greatest thing. It is like race brain galore, is what you could say, right? It literally is one workout, one lap, one entrance to the relay zone, yet you need about 4 or 5 people helping you to find the right spot to get in, because everybody is just like, oxygen is everywhere, but not up in the brain anymore.
Exactly, it's a completely different race, and that's exactly what we're going to see tonight. Joanna, I've got a really great question for you. You are so dialed in. You're such a young athlete, but you're so professional. I want to know how you stay so dialed in before a race and during a race.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of noise going around, before the race for me specifically this season, and also out on the race course. There's so much noise, the crowd's going bonkers, it's crazy. So I think for me, I've always been so dialed in and knowing my next plan. So I know my race plan, I know the next station, I know what I need to do. So I'm just so hyper-focused on that. And that's essentially what delivers the results that I have this season.
And it's so fantastic to see those pictures right now. And you can see in the faces of the athletes, right? There is so many different feelings going into the race here. There are some who are up for redemption, like Cole Learn, who said before, and hey, I'm going to win this thing here for Canada. And others just bringing the smile and the vibes. It's just like the icing on the cake. But this is one of the places, the most exciting places in the venue. And Lauren is really close.
Exactly that, Till. This is just before all of our athletes are going to walk out for their official introductions. We've got a little bit of Mexico. Woo! Yes, Switzerland. Oh, Scotland. God, Liam. We've got Canada. We've got Austria. We've got Belgium. I'm really doing well with my flags. The Denmark team are here. Guys, are we ready for some racing? I think they're ready, guys.
I would definitely say they're ready. There's absolutely no doubt. Who would have thought the Scottish could be that outgoing and exciting? And very soon we're going to see them go out onto that venue that we see behind us. You see the lights, it's all happening. This is an incredible feeling. Like, I will never in my life forget that moment before that walk-in of nations, to walk out there with the spectators on the grandstands, the lights going off. It was absolutely incredible. There's no doubt. Jenna, how did it feel as an athlete? You must feel this right now.
Oh my goodness. On Thursday night specifically for me, that was something I've never experienced before. The atmosphere and how loud this stadium was incredible. And I know all the athletes out there are going to be so excited to run out now.
And so we're going to see 20 nations. Mm-hmm. And even though Sweden is our very kind host and has been gracious, I have the feeling not all nations will be kind tonight and surrender to people like Hugo Juchmark, who's one of the entertainers in the sport. Watch out for him there tonight. But Joanna, we've got about a minute before we see them there. I got one more question, because a little bit under the radar. So you were like the queen of the season, right? But another queen returned. Megan Jacoby had her first race in a very long time. How did that make you feel?
Honestly, I'm so excited. I know that she's going to come back firing next season, and this race that she did today, I know that would have ignited that fire for her to get back into training and get back into solo racing. So it just adds another extremely competitive competitor for me next season. So I'm ready to see her out there on the floor.
Goosebumps. I can't wait to see Joe and Meg go head to head.
And it also answers the question if that race with Alyssa, lit a fire under Joanna. I'm glad we got that out of the way. Ladies and gentlemen, we promised you the final race of the final chapter of our 25-26 season, and we are about ready to welcome the modern day gladiators, our athletes out there onto the grid. Let's welcome them all together.
Let's blow those bagpipes, it's Scotland!
All right, welcome into the arena, Team Canada!
Walking under the arch, it's the Czech Republic!
All right, welcome, Team Austria!
And welcome back from a commentary. We've moved our position for the best view of the entire stadium, and we brought a very special guest in, the man who always promises to bring the excitement, a little bit of drama and fierce racing to the floor, Sean Noble. Sean, welcome.
Thanks, Till.
This is going to be an exciting one. Let's take a quick look at the start list before we go into all the juicy details you brought for us. Team Sweden, the host, we saw them walk on last year, but then if we look at it, Jane, I mean, United States, after the drama we had last year, you can't count them out. We got Australia as defending champion, but how about the United States?
Oh, the United States look so strong. I mean, we've got world champion there right now. We've got Lauren Weeks on the Burpee broad jump. I think she's going to be very difficult to beat on that station. But there are so many strong teams out there, not just the United States.
Absolutely. I mean, if you look at it, you know, Sean would definitely say Ireland.
I'm a bit biased, but I'm going to say Ireland, but you know what? I'm going to big up Scotland as well here.
Oh,
yeah,
all right.
I don't see Scotland do well, but yeah.
Who knew? That is okay when you're from Ireland.
Yeah, we're basically the same, so Ireland and
right.
Scotland, and I think Australia have a chance here as well.
I don't think that would happen between Germany and Switzerland. And Sean, we're about a minute away from the race start, and of course, one thing is the rule for the relay. It's never too dark to be cool, as we can see here with Charlie Bottrell, with Hidde Versma, for example.
I'm shocked to see that Hugo Hugmark from Sweden is not going to be starting on the ski erg. I saw that he's going to be doing sled push and row, but if you follow him on Instagram, he actually posts some unreal ski content there.
Well, you know, he's always up for a little bit of a surprise there. There is no doubt. I'm very much looking forward to talking about all the different characters. Team Germany, interesting enough, still got their shirt on as we're moments away from starting the final race of the final chapter here in Stockholm. We're getting ready for the mixed relay invitational. In a moment, we're going to see the red lights go on. When they go off, the race is on. The lights are off, and here we go with the mixed relay invitational at the 2026 HYROX World Championship. So spring to the first corner, elbows are coming straight out. Cole Learn is saying, this is my day. He announced that before the race, and the elbows are coming straight out.
This is the most exciting part of this race. It is a 1,000 metre all-out run, followed by a 1,000 metre all-out ski. And I love to see Dexter Buchanan, who made his debut in the World Championships Elite 15 on Thursday night, right there at the front with these guys. I hope he can sustain this workload when he gets to the ski erg.
So, Sean, if you look at that, you know, Cole Learn on the ski erg, is that a little bit of a, I need to prove a point here, I can do 1,000 meters?
Absolutely, I've been talking to him, and he said he's going to prove a point here, so he's going out hot. Let's see if he can finish it, but I definitely think one of the stations to win here, all bragging rights, and who wins the ski erg.
And, I mean, you know, you had the Scots in your predictions there, they're definitely showing it.
Liverpool, he started very well here, he's a great runner, and he's done very well on the in HYROX this year and this season, but I'd love to see him come out in second place here. And of course, Ireland, they're going to surge. We're just waiting for them to surge here, but they're going to come out strong.
And Greg, if we look at the first workout, right, and we look at the starters there, we see a lot of familiar names that our viewers have seen throughout the season, from Eitel Lizarazu over Tim Vanish, John Wynn, Dexter Buchanan, Charlie Bottrell, and so on. Is there somebody who stands out for you at the ski erg?
There's a number of names there, like you mentioned. I think Alexander Ronchevich you see there in third spot, obviously a super fast runner, but he can really put in some times on the ski. We see it time and time again in the elite singles, in the elite doubles. He can really move there, so I wouldn't bet against him coming out first for sure. But we see Cole Learn super fresh from the weekend because he got DQ'd, didn't race in the elite doubles. He'll be raring to go tonight.
But Sean, you know what it's like down there. You raced all those boys. Are you a little bit surprised to not see Tim Vanish right there up the front, at least with Liam and Alex and Eugenio?
Not really, because I know when you race twice back-to-back like that, it takes a lot out of the leg, so he's probably suffering from the races, because I know if Tim was fresh, Tim's going to win this first run, or at least he's going to be up there. Yeah, incredible run here from the man from Canada.
But it's a good point to bring it up, as we're seeing Cole Learn come into the skier at first, followed by Liam McCrory right there. So we've always wondered, right, as everyday heroes and as age troopers, how do you guys do it? How does it feel? You make it look effortlessly. You can now tell the world it does hurt by the third race.
Absolutely, it hurts, and I'm very annoyed I'm not down there. I wish it was, but I'm also happy because it hurts a lot, especially the relay. Relay is just a world of pain. Who could suffer the most, basically? And especially if you're doing 2 races back to back and a relay, they're in a world of pain right now, especially on the skier. I can imagine Ronkovic's shoulders are just blowing up right now as he's probably pulling a 135 or something.
And Greg, we've seen time splits around the 141-ish mark, 143-ish, in the individuals and doubles racing and so on. What's your guess on pace they're going right now?
Jane might be better placed to answer that. But I would say just above the 130s, would you say, for a K in this?
Yeah, you'd be hoping. I mean, like when we look at the world record on the ski for 1K, it's 2:38, and that's insane, right? But that guy didn't do that after running 1,000 metres with these guys. So you'd be hoping sub 140 for sure. That's what you'd be looking at aiming for right now. Because it doesn't matter the damage you do, really. You're done after this till the next station.
And of course, everybody's holding their breath a little bit, looking at Cole Learn and the drama we've seen in the individuals race there. But somebody who's really keeping a really watchful eye is Lauren.
Cheers, Till. Look, I've chatted to the girls on his team, Lindsay Bessagato and Leanne Girard, and they were saying that there's something within him after what happened on Thursday night that really feels like he needs to prove something, but that hasn't necessarily been kind of disapparated into the team's feelings. They want to do this for him, but he hasn't said that they have to, which I think is a really kind of lovely family feel. They're clapping him on right now. And of course, Lindsay Bessagato, she's coached by Cole. So they all want this for him after what happened the other night.
Well, I think not just them, we all want this for Cole. He is such a genuine, fantastic person. So we want to see him absolutely succeed here today. And I know, Jane, it is itching. It is hurting you right now. I know you want to talk about Ireland and Ronan Lindsay.
I am absolutely loving watching this. Sean and I were just pointing at the screen right now and talking about the splits, and it's really important in a station like this. It's difficult for athletes that race solo so much to absolutely give this everything, but that's what we need to see at this, and there's such a discrepancy in the pacing there. We're seeing some athletes that are closer to 150 when they really need to be close to that 140 there.
But Sean, you know exactly what that feels like. I mean, we had that conversation in Melbourne where you're like, hey, I lost too much time on the ergs. Like, what do I do? Who do I talk to, right? And you've worked so much on it. Yep. How hard is the process, or how easy is it?
The ski erg and rower is definitely a long process. You have to put a lot of time in, a lot of volume in. The relay is a little bit different because you don't have to pace it. What we're seeing from Scotland here and Liam Rapori's, he's definitely went there way too hot because he's actually pulling his single pro race time. So he's definitely in a world of pain right here. But I'm happy to see Ireland doing really well and hopefully going to come out first.
Peter Wiersma as well is putting a shift on the ski. They come in 7th, but he could be leaving in 2nd place at the moment for the Netherlands.
And actually, I think we all know now that Everett split that we've seen for Ronan Lindsay there was incorrect because he's actually gone through the 1,000 already. He is out just shortly after Cole Learn. But we're still seeing Liam McCrory in there. And this is the handover looking oddly civilized at the moment here. It is so hard for everybody who's done a relay before. That sprint out of the station, it is so short, and Sean, yet so painful.
Oh, it's so painful. I remember Chicago last year. I ran 500 meters and I cramped. I just ran out at like 240 pace and I cramped. So they're in a world of pain right now. I'm just going to point out Ireland's second, Aoife, is out there. She's actually an Olympic boxer. So you're looking at Olympic boxer now, crossed over to HYROX, so it's incredible to see the crossover as well.
Watch out, Hunter McIntyre. We've got an Olympic boxer in the race.
Hunter wouldn't be doing what happened last year anyway, let's just say, if he was on the course today.
It's Isaac Sanderson leading here for Canada. We actually saw him back in DC at the Elite 15 in the Americas regional. We finished 12th that day, so we have seen him in the Elite 15 races before. He actually told me this summer he's going to run a 100-miler, so he's going from this extreme of running a K as quickly as he can to running a 100-miler later on in the off-season.
But look at Isaac Anderson right now. I mean, very different running style to Cole Learn and just as effective right now, flying along the track here. So They got a really strong team they put together. They're going with the tactic of sending 2 men out first. So we're now seeing a lot of the women coming in for that sled push as well. We've just seen Mexico, for example, with Nayeli Garcia. And it was also really cool to see, Jane, the different approaches, right? We've seen Isaac, who's in the picture here with a black cap, and he's like laser focusing going. And the yellow top right behind her, that is Nayeli Garcia for Mexico. And she was just smiling and playing with the camera and so on. And that is something I love about this relay so much, is it brings everything together. Fierce racing, a good time. As Sean said everybody's hurting a little bit, so I reckon that a little bit of sarcastic fun kind of distracts from the pain out there as well.
Yeah, and it's so good to see because it brings the spirit of HYROX and the joy of racing, but the way these athletes are actually attacking it down there. Like we saw Tim finish with a pair of sunglasses on, and I am actually worried he could not see the monitor on the ski erg with his sunnies on, and potentially that's why he came out of the ski erg when he did, when we know what he's capable of. But it is really great to see them having fun.
Well, unfortunately, seeing it very well without sunnies on is Lauren.
I'm here with Liam McCrory, captain of Scotland, and that was a big boy start. What was it like to be in the middle of it, chasing down, ultimately almost keeping pace with Colin at the front?
Just put your heart and soul on the line for your country, and yeah, just give it all. Yeah, I know that my ski erg isn't my strongest point, so I'm a good runner, so I just wanted to make a bit of point that we're not here just to take part. We're here to come and make a statement, so no Scotland, no party.
No Scotland, no party. Nice, good job.
I mean, do we need to say more about the spirits down there? Just looking into the relay zone from where we're standing there, Tim Venus still got the sunglasses on, wearing the German soccer jersey after taking the second win of the World Cup yesterday. And athletes are making their way into workout number 2. Isaac is in. So, of course, after this incredible start from Cole Learn, we're now seeing Canada in the lead there, and he's already halfway through the first lane before the chasers are even coming in.
So, Sean, I've got a question for you, being the athlete on the desk right now.
Yep.
Are you trying to go completely unbroken in the sled push in this relay?
Absolutely. Like go unbroken in an actual race, pro race. So if they're not going unbroken in a relay, then they're not pushing hard enough. So you have to go unbroken. And you're seeing some of them here probably suffer. I'm looking at Isaac, he is definitely suffering. Hugo's broke, so he's definitely suffering in this. All that volume on the sleds isn't coming to fruition in this relay, so you'd like to see him maybe push a little bit harder here. You might have pushed the run too much, but yeah, they're going hard.
But look at how close everything is. We've got the 2 nations in the front, right? We got Isaac and then Harry for England, Harry Thompson there. And they're shoulder to shoulder now. Then Hugo Juchmark for Sweden. But Stephanie Oswald, a couple of lanes down right now for Germany. You see the red stripes on the black pants. Stephanie Oswald going really strong there right now as well.
And Gabriella Nakora-Baker is also there with her pink Pumas on. She's in the pink Puma club, and she is moving that sled like it weighs nothing too.
Which is not a surprise looking at her background.
Yes, absolutely. We know that Gabrielle has a background in bodybuilding, in strength training. She only took up running in the last 2 years. She posted a memory on her Instagram just recently that reminded her that she's only been a runner for like the last 2 years, which is crazy.
But I think you have to remember, a lot of these athletes aren't used to a relay. They're not used to running that fast into a sled push. So it's a different level of lactate that you're feeling right now. So even though they are braking, you have to remember they've gone in all out basically. So what we're looking at here is a lot of athletes that are suffering after running all out 1K.
Sean, a little bit of a tip for our viewers out there who race as well. At the sled push, what do you want to go for? A long, slow stride, or rather a little bit tippy-toe shorter stride?
So the closer your feet are to the sled, the more power you generate. So you want to keep your feet as close as possible to the sled and drive through your hips. So it's a lot of your posterior chain that's going to actually work here, for me anyway. So you want to just drive and quick steps and keep your feet as close as possible to the sled.
And really quick in a step as well as Isaac Anderson, who's out of the workout. He's handed over. And off we go with Leon Girard for Canada as the leading nation out onto the track already. Here we go. Stephanie Oswald is coming through as well.
And Calypso Sheridan's coming through absolutely fiercely.
What a stellar week it's been for Calypso Sheridan. Considering she's a jack of all trades. And she had those 2 fantastic races with Mac Martin in the doubles and the individuals as well, where she came in 4th. So what a day. And yet, I mean, Sean just said it, day 3 really hurts as we're seeing Emily Darman come through. That looked at the limit.
I absolutely love the work rate of Emily Darman. She will give everything no matter what. And we could see her legs were literally giving up there. She gave that sled push absolutely everything. And just like Sean said, that end of the station, getting back to the handover, has to be one of the most painful moments.
Yeah, you're looking at athletes suffer here. The legs are definitely gone.
And Greg, just looking at the numbers, the great thing is, it is not like doubles racing. It is not like individuals racing. Those times will shift a lot because we'll always have that mix in the mixed relays of women racing men, men racing women.
Exactly. We started, the first station typically would go to the guys, and we saw that, so the skier would typically go to the guys. Then there's a lot of mixing it up. The wall balls at the end of the race typically goes to the ladies because the target is lower and you can do 100 unbroken quicker with that lower target. But in the middle of the race, it's a real mixture, and you're right, it is a little bit of a game in cat and mouse.
A game of cat and mouse, but a very fast one, Greg.
Sure is a fast one. There's Jess Toll there on the screen. She's in first place for England. A late roll down for Kat Parnell, who pulled out unfortunately due to an injury. She raced in the elite doubles on Friday night, but that's Jess Toll. She finished 4th in her age group in the 35 to 39 age group this weekend, and had planned to race as well mixed doubles with Kate Davey, but unfortunately due to Kate's injury she didn't race there.
Athletes very clearly flying. We're seeing times well under the 3-minute mark here right now in terms of pace. But let's hear it from Lauren what's happening on the floor.
I don't know how obvious it's coming across on camera, but the sled push wave that has just come into the transition area, all of them are waddling. Their quads and their glutes are on absolute fire. Their calves, their hamstrings, it's all totally destroyed in the best possible way. And they've got one more station to go for them all.
Well, one more station to go, and we heard it from a couple of nations. You can go about favorite stations, you can go about strength, or you can go about having rest time between stations. But there's like a couple of nations who literally put their athletes like, yeah, no, we don't like those 2 workouts, you take them. And there's like just one in between. It's like a 6-minute rest at best. And Sean, 6 minutes sounds so much, right? But how is it for you guys? I just remember the feeling like it can take me, it feels like 15 minutes to bring the heart rate back down after a one workout all-out smash fest.
Yeah, your central nervous system is just fried. They say it takes maybe 20 minutes for the lactate to flush, but it feels like an eternity, to be honest with you. So 6 minutes will go by very, very quick.
A lot quicker than 6 minutes at the workout, that's for sure. The break always feels a lot shorter as we got our leader coming into the workout here. We did not do predictions, right? That's a good thing. Nobody can lose here today in the studio as we got Jess Howell into the workout. And how does that feel right now? You're subbed in last minute, and here you are leading the mixed relay invitational into workout number 3.
Look, I think that it just feels like so much pressure. But these are the top level athletes that we have in the whole world. These are some of the best 80 athletes in the whole world. And Jess is handling this pressure really, really well. She had the lead when she came into her run, and she's held on to it here. And she's going to be absolutely doing everything to not let anyone catch up to her.
And we are seeing 2 exciting athletes there. Jess Padre for the defending champion for Australia. And next to her, Linda Meyer. And Linda had a rough day in her individuals. She stood at the wall balls with a penalty for 3 minutes, already being way behind the field. Sean, what do you do to recover mentally going into the relay only a couple of days later?
I think you can't ponder over it. That's sport. That's part of the sport. You got to get over it. Linda Meyer is an incredible champion, incredible racer, and yeah, that's part of the sport. You just got to. The best thing you can do is get into another race, try yourself into another race, and show like that she's a great champion. That's the best thing you can do.
And another champion we're seeing in the lane down here in lane 1, Jack Driscoll. Greg, what an incredible story last time around in Warsaw when he came out of a 48-hour shift at the firehouse, getting a last-minute call-up and getting on the plane flying to Warsaw.
Yeah, but he's won a number of races over in the US in particular, and then got his Elite 15 call-up. Raced in Warsaw, didn't have his best race, but it was a late call-up. But he raced this weekend in the World Championships and finished 2nd overall He done a 55.37 to finish the second fastest man this weekend. So, yeah, very, very impressive athlete, and he's put in a real shift here tonight. Give a mention as well to Leanne Girard, who came in second place here for Canada. She's actually the Canadian record holder for the beer mile. So if Canada do take the win tonight, she might be the one to get out the beers.
First one at the after party.
Yeah.
All right.
I might beat her to that, to be honest.
I'm sensing a race after the race happening here.
And we've just seen a yellow card there for Jack Driscoll.
And we've seen that before with the yellow cards. If you look at it, for example, with Dylan Scott and Stephen Palkifer in the men's doubles, getting an early yellow card, as there's one for Jess Towell now as well. John, it does significantly slow you down being more careful.
Massively. It depends on when you get the yellow card. So if you get at the start of the station, sometimes you're better off getting a penalty because it slows you down that much, honestly. Especially with a station like the burpees or even the sled pull, like you're very cautious. You can be overly cautious and lose too much time. So it's definitely a mental game when you get the yellow card. Also in the sled pull, you're seeing loads of different techniques. You're seeing guys drop the rope, people not drop the rope. Personally, I drop the rope because I feel like it alleviates kind of pressure on your forearms, saves energy. But it's just, different kind of techniques that people like to use,
There's been a number of yellow cards shown, actually. The USA, England were showing the yellow card. Jesse's out now. Netherlands, Italy, Ireland, Austria and Czech Republic have all been shown a yellow card so far.
It's yellow card city.
It is indeed. Well, it's yellows all over Sweden, so it kind of makes sense, right?
We're in the spirit of midsummer.
In the absolute spirit, and I feel like Sweden does need a little bit of support after that Soccer World Cup match yesterday. But you mentioned the Netherlands, and that's another thing I really enjoy about these relay invitationals. If you look at the Netherlands, Anne Stellan, she's not as experienced as a Hidde Veersma, as a Emily Dahmen, for example, as a Martin Eijnhoven, but here she is and she gets to mix it up with all those established athletes. It's got to bring so much motivation into the next season to become an even stronger athlete than she already is.
And I love to see this, not just the athletes that got the call up to be in the relay, but those watching in the stands, those watching at home, that this is an opportunity for them next season. This is an opportunity through the point system for them to represent their country. And it's a totally different way to represent your country. We've got solos, we've got doubles, and this is an absolute sprint and suffer fest.
Absolutely, look at that. And James Kelly motivating Lucy Proctor. I tell you right now, we can all agree that is not trash talking, that is, whatever it is, it's motivation.
And I saw JK this afternoon, and he is definitely a leader. Like, he absolutely loves coaching people. He's a great coach. And as he went past Lucy then, he was saying, stay with me, Lucy. And it's so good to see that. He's fresh. He is taking on the burpees and the lunges, and he is going to attack this race. Absolutely.
I think James Kelly was trying to peak for the relay, actually. That's what he said earlier.
Yes.
You heard it from Sean Noble, but let's hear it from Lauren. All right, we're going to hear it from Lauren in a moment then. We're going to look at Jess Towell. We had a great slow motion there of Linda Meyer, and I think her face just said exactly what we were talking about. It was laser focused. She is back, and she dealt with that individual's race. And look at the fierce pace of James Kelly. And let's try Lauren on the floor again.
I am stood here with Miriam von Rohr. This month, she has won the French Throwdown and booked a ticket to the CrossFit Games. She has set a new national record in weightlifting for Switzerland, and now she's representing her country on the HYROX stage. And Miriam, you are the wall ball queen. How do you attack the final station?
I learned a lot of wall balls. So in the beginning, when I started with this movement, I was not able to do wall balls with 4 kilograms. And then I practicing and have always more the trust and confidence in myself. And now it's my favorite exercise, and I challenge myself with heavier wall balls in training, and it's always a mental challenge, so it's never easy in the competition.
Very quickly, how many do you have unbroken?
I did one time 350 wall balls unbroken.
So watch out for Miriam Rohr.
And look at the pace of Sebastian Iversen. I mean, we all know what an incredible runner James Kelly is, but Sebastian Iversen, who had such an interesting season. He lost the Danish record in Stockholm to his doubles partner, Gustav Courtois. Then he struck back with that fantastic race in London. He didn't have the best of races, not what he was hoping for here in the doubles with Gustav. But look at the pace he was just going here on this run, flying. Obviously, a lap behind JK. JK already turned into the workout here.
And isn't it great to see men and women out on the field together? I can't wait to see Lucy Proctor up against these guys on the Burpee broad jump here. We never get to see that.
We're seeing a lot of shuffling around here, so after an incredible sled pull from Jess Patre, we're seeing James Kelly in the picture here.
We were also seeing Luke Penny. So we've got Australia in first position, and we've got Luke Penny for New Zealand in second position there, followed by Lucy Proctor, who is absolutely giving the men a run for their money on these Burpees.
Oh, she's so got to give them hell. I'm pretty sure that's something about, you know, down the line of what James Kelly said to her is like, I got to pass you. Yes. You'll catch me at the Burpees.
Yeah, and this is great to see. It's obvious that you're going to put the men in the ergs, but I love across the rest of the stations, we're going to see men and women on the same stations.
James, how often, how many repetitions go into having this precision, especially with a step up, that you know 100% this is my movement over and over again is going to be clean? How many reps are you putting in to get to that point?
You're talking hundreds and hundreds of reps in training. James Kelly at the moment, this is just muscle memory. He's not even thinking. It can't be. He's just controlling his heart rate. And yeah, he's suffering a lot. I'm just looking here as well. Cole Earns making a move on the burpees. He's actually catching JK. So
Cole has been shown a yellow card, so he does need to be careful.
And Colin isn't doing his solo technique right now. In the solo, we know he loves to do the crawl up with the knee, and he can do it in just over 2 minutes. But in a relay, he's going to want to move a little bit faster than that. So less touch points with the ground is going to make him a little bit faster.
And I really don't want to see him getting a red card, because I do not want to see that happening.
It looked like Luke Penny was just given a card there. I could see out of the corner of my eye a flash of colour, but I'm not committed to what that colour is right now. I'm waiting for confirmation right now.
We've just seen Jacob, who's overseeing the judges down there, have a quick word with him, maybe just making sure he understood he got that penalty. James Kelly, a little tumble there, but he's out. But Cole Learn is right out there with him on the inside lane. Here we go, and it is the handover. Where I got Australia and Canada there, and Isaac Anderson heading out again for Canada.
What a move by Cole Learn.
Oh, but Yannick Chapla, last year's doubles world champion, now handing over to his last year's partner, Tim Vintage, and next season's partners, by the way, again. So that is, look at the gap here. If you look at it, a mere 15 seconds between 1 and 4 right now. There's a red card ready in the hand. You know, that's always the danger. You want to be as fast as humanly possible out there. And you got to get certain risks. You want to be fast and so on for your team. Let's hear from Medlock.
So we have a red card for Team New Zealand, overstepping, red card.
All right, so overstepping. Sean, can happen or shouldn't happen?
Overstepping, not as frequent as a staggered jump. Overstepping can be it doesn't really happen that much in an elite race, to be honest. You'd see more staggered feet or your hands going out too far. Overstepping can be definitely prevented.
And that's where you're stepping in front of where your hands actually are.
So further than 30 centimeters, basically.
Yep.
So here's another thing, since I got you both here, Sean and Jane. If you look at the burpees there right now, this is something we've spoken about in the women's individual race. The difference between Alyssa McElhaney on the feet and throwing them straight back versus Joanna stopping for a moment and then throwing back. How much faster does it make you to just like land and throw them back?
Yeah, I think the key with burpees is basically you need to hit your chest off the ground as hard as possible, and you need to land in a kind of a crouch position. So the lower your center of gravity, the quicker you are, basically.
And you can absolutely make up more time dropping to the floor quickly.
More tips from the pro, but let's send it back down to Lauren.
1 second between you and Cole Learn on the burpee out. How much did you sell your soul?
I sold my soul at 127%. Sorry, I can't talk right now, Lauren. I can't talk.
What's the game plan, ladies?
Leave it all mess up every other team, and I think we're on the way to doing that.
Defending champions.
What's that?
You're defending champions.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And we got John Wynn, who has trained 3 years for this pretty much. He's got his spot. Johnny boy, here we go.
I love how they can be joking about that. I mean, we heard it in the interview, you know, everybody who follows the sport has followed the drama of JK and Johnny Wynn over the last season, but here he is, Johnny Wynn, and what a sight to see him, you know, after uprooting his family, moving back to his home country of Australia, missing out in the individuals at his home race in Melbourne, and then deciding, you know what, I'm going to go all in for the relay. I'm not going to try again. Let's be here for my country. But Dylan Scott is starting the Dylan Scott train, trying to reel in some of the nations ahead of him.
Such a signature move by Dylan Scott at this point in the race to come from nowhere and overtake at least 3 people there.
Dylan Scott flying. As we're done with half of the race already. Everybody on fire. And here we go, straight into workout number 5. Tim Weinisch has closed the gap to the front, if I'm seeing that right.
Yeah, Germany made up a lot of time there. Very interested to see what kind of stroke rate Tim's going to pull here, because he always pulls a very high stroke rate, so he's quite strong on the skier for such a kind of a lean man. He can pull great numbers.
And look at that, Tim Weinisch is already bringing the after-party style to the road here as well. The sunnies are not coming off today. Quick adjustment of the damper there.
Charlie is also very, very strong in the rower, so I'm expecting Team England to probably make a move here as well.
Dexter Buchanan coming in for New Zealand with the 15-second penalty. And here goes Dylan Scott. So you've seen Team US was not in the data a moment ago. Here they come in 6th overall with Dylan Scott about 220 meters down on our leaders, on Isaac Anderson. But another penalty, it seems.
Here a red card for Team Scotland, overreaching.
Team Scotland, one of Sean Noble's race favourites now with a 15-second penalty as well for overreaching.
Tim Weinisch there on the road, he actually had the 2nd fastest row in the Elite 15 on Thursday night. So like Sean said, he is a very, very good rower.
So it's quite an interesting one. We got the question from the community every once in a while, why we wait so long with announcing the penalties. And the way this works is the card is shown, then it goes into the VAR, into the video container, basically, where there's smarter people than us sitting who review the footage very carefully, deliberate, and then decide it's a penalty, yes or no. And when the penalty is confirmed, it goes to the head referee, who is Matt Locke, who you then hear on the screen. So in order to avoid speculation and going forth and back, that's why we don't mention them until Matt Locke picks them up.
Exactly. Exactly. So when you see a card come up, what's actually going to happen is it's going to be video reviewed, and then we'll talk about it.
That is absolutely right. So 2 penalties given now, which coming into the row, I would say it's not a bad thing.
It's quite difficult to make a move on the row, to be honest. Even if you put out great numbers, you're only gaining 3 or 4 seconds. So you probably saw Tim go a little bit harder into the rower, knowing he's probably going to pull a 140 because he would have gained more time from the run than the actual rower.
And by the way, just to round out that topic, we're going to take a quick look into the VAR, what that looks like there. So here you go. These fine ladies and gentlemen sitting right there, they do nothing else but review footage when a card is given to make sure, yes, this is a penalty, or no, this is not a penalty. So fair to say, for them, it's a lot easier to decide then, yep, that was definitely over 30 centimeters at the burpees, for example. This was overreaching or not.
And they have all the camera angles, so everything can be beyond doubt.
I'm liking what I see from Ireland here as well, I have to say, a bit biased, but they're doing well, they're in 8th place, so yeah, happy to see the team do well.
Oh, absolutely, and there's still a couple of stations coming up. I mean, yep. John, what can we expect from them?
Yeah, they've got some, so Eva's very good on the ball, so I expect her to close quite strong. Ronan's on lunges, I believe. Or sorry, Dave is. So he's quite strong as well. So yeah, I'm expecting a strong finish and hopefully it goes well.
Look at that move from Tim Venus.
Yeah, I told you.
Coming from behind on the run, he's tapping his chest there right now. How much fun can one athlete have down there as he's going to hand over in first in Charlie Bottrell, another incredible combination of run and workout as well.
What did I say, Till? I said Tim and Charlie. You should have me on this pair position.
You should be an expert.
I think John Wynn coming off the rower there is absolutely full of regret that he's in this team right now. He was in a world of pain. He gave that 1,000 metres absolutely everything. Dexter Buchanan off the rower, but we have got Dylan Scott right behind him.
As a sun move from Dylan Scott there.
Big move by Dylan Scott.
Incredible.
He's almost, you couldn't see that, but he's almost flying out of the turn as he was going around. They got this 180-degree turn. They got to go around another 180 just around this station, around the ergs before they can hand over. And here comes the handover from the United States. Dylan Scott handing over to Catherine Fassbender.
And I can't wait till Emily Darman gets her hands on these kettlebells. She is taking the farmer's carry tonight, and she is self-proclaimed the fastest, potentially backed up by data, but she absolutely believes it as well. So I want to see her move like a rocket.
Well, we have Greg, and he has the proof. Everybody's talking about the Sinead farmer's carry, but Emily Darman was saying, hey, I've pretty much beaten her at every single race in the farmer's carry. Yeah. Greg, can you confirm that?
She's absolutely right. She's absolutely right. It's just that sometimes, like, Sinead moves super fast and it looks very impressive, but because of her brakes, like the time isn't always as fast as Emily's. But Emily, yeah, time and time again, has the fastest on the farmer's carry. She reminds us of that very often as well.
I have a feeling Sean is quite fast on the old farmer's carry.
Yeah, I was a little bit deflated when I found out on Thursday I was actually second for the first time ever this season. Hunter beat me by 1 second. But we'll come back and reclaim
There
that.
will be redemption. There's absolutely no doubt. Stephanie Oswald right now leading the race ahead of this woman here. Jess Towell flying through. Then we're seeing Kenny Saget for Sweden. Calypso Sheridan coming through for Australia. But if you look at Stephanie Oswald for Team Germany in the lead there right now, she only came back into racing in January after a lengthy injury that didn't allow her to race, didn't allow her to run. And it wasn't one of those like miracle comebacks or something, right? It was a hard-fought, step-by-step, race-by-race. But look at the joy and the entertainment and the happiness right now of being here at the World Championship and leading the race.
Yeah, just pure joy. She's waving at the crowd. She's smiling. She's having a great time.
But that smiling approach worked for Alyssa McElhenney on Thursday night, the world champion. She smiles through the race, so maybe we'll see a lot more smiling on course there.
And oh my word, Alyssa McElhenney, we were talking about it. I was talking about it, making a joke, right? As she was sitting on the row, moving her mouth. I'm like, she knows there's nobody around she can talk to right now, right? She was actually singing along to the song in the venue. That's how much of a good time she was having while racing.
I've done that a few times myself. It definitely helps. Depends on the song choice, though. Depends on the song choice.
In the future, you can hand them in with the DJ. Not a problem at all. Stephanie Oswald cannot stop smiling. This is absolutely incredible.
And we joked before that JK has been training for the relays specifically, but this is a really difficult ask. We can see from Emily Darman right now, there's a couple of these other athletes overtaking her. Emily Darman has been training for a solo race. Going all out on a run into a station is very different to how she's been training in the preparation she's been doing.
Yeah, absolutely, and she's the type of athlete, she's told me in the past, like, she wishes HYROX was twice as long. Like, she wants the long, grinding race. So, yeah, 1 kilometre sprint, I don't think is what she favours.
And wouldn't that be a great event? I've also heard from Gabrielle Nakora-Baker, she would love to do the men's pro weights. She would love there to be a female race where they do the men's pro weights. That's her dream.
So just a quick one to farmers. What you want to see the farmers is actually using more of your back, so slightly leaning further back. Because what you're seeing there is a lot of arms. Your biceps is a very weak muscle group, so more lats and back. You're definitely going to move faster with the farmers.
Great, you heard it from Sean. Farmers carry second place in the World Championship.
Yeah, second place. It really hurts. Thanks for reminding me of that. Well, although after a few beers, it's going to be first. It's going to be first.
No, an absolute champion you are.
We're staying busy down here at the Farmer's Carry. A oddly
Luke is definitely suffering.
slow-looking
I think he was confused on which weights to grab. Maybe he was thinking he was going to grab the 24s. Luke Penny there from New Zealand. Not sure.
Unless he's actually ruined himself on the kilometre run, because it wasn't long ago he was doing the burpees, so he's not had much of a rest.
But look at Calypso Sheridan going through the inside of Stephanie Oswald here. She will not be stopped. She knows we are the defending champion. She is right now demolishing the competition at this farmer's carry. She's like, move aside, Sinead Ben. Move aside, Emily Darman. There is a new farmer's carry hero in town.
What?
What's that?
There's your doubles partner, Sean.
Yeah, I'm not happy till.
See, I have to say, Calypso actually was the fastest on Thursday night in the race. It actually wasn't Emily after all. So I think Emily was the fastest in Warsaw in the majors, but Calypso actually came in. She did 1:20 on Thursday night.
Who's going to tell Emily?
But look at the suffering now. Team Canada.
This would be one of your stations, wouldn't it, Sean?
No, I wouldn't have. Ideally, I
on?
would have picked sled pull and farmers, but I don't think I would have made up much time on the farmers, to be honest.
So what you would have gone like lunges or something?
I would have
instead?
went both ergs.
Both ergs.
That was a 64-second farmer's carry from Calypso Sheridan.
Is that the fastest we've ever seen? You're like, Jane.
Greg's going to be busy for the next half hour now.
Sorry, I thought it might just be there in your mind.
Have you ever done a 104, Sean?
I think my average is 110 this year, so I don't think I've done a 104 now.
I thought you were asking me.
But did you just see, we had Lindsay Besigato for Canada in the picture as well, and she's only getting a one workout break as well, so she was going through the farmer's carry and then is up for the wall vault as well.
Guys, change the tactic. Okay, she needs a bigger rest there.
Louis Osler coming through for Team Belgium, handing over to Lena Putters. What an incredible world championship here for Louis Osler as well. First individuals with this incredible second place, and then at the doubles, a race out there with Martin Eijnhoven.
I've got two suggestions right now. My first suggestion is they get new race outfits for every team that look like the Cool Runnings bobsled team outfit for next season. And the other one is, this has got to become an event at the elites. This is every single elite. This is so exciting, isn't it?
Yeah, it is so exciting. I love the t-shirt there from Martin Eijnhoven saying lead out as he's taken over from Emily Darman there a second ago. And it's getting busy down here at the farmer's carry.
And only 5 seconds separating Australia and Germany right now.
One man to pay attention to here is Harry Thompson. He hasn't been mentioned. He's incredibly strong on the lunges, so I expect England to probably make a move here as well.
Gloria Cobetta coming through for Italy as well. And we're there seeing James Kelly right now being reeled in by the Swedish team captain Charlotta Haglund.
And on her birthday, actually, as well.
On her birthday.
Today, yep.
Well, happy birthday, Charlotta.
And we know JK loves a lunge.
And then in the mix right now, Team Mexico, they were so much fun in the pre-interviews. It was literally, we asked them who's the most fun person in your team, and I think everybody was just pointing at themselves.
Yes.
They're just all comedians.
Oh, that's exactly what we want to see.
Sebastian Iffersen just flying past Charlotta there as well, so again on the hunt. The Dane, such a strong athlete as well with that obstacle course racing background. Here he is, hot on the heels of JK and then just going around on the inside. But the difference is that JK is a lap ahead.
This is a big workout. Sorry, this is a big workout for JK. If he can come out with a lead here, it's going to be very hard to catch Australia. So I expect JK, he's normally like 230 lunges, so it's going to be very difficult to put any time on him.
And one team right in the mix there for the podium, still in for the win potentially, is Team England, and they're with Lauren, I believe.
I've got Charlie Bottrell and Jess Toll here. Charlie, England are deep in the thick of it. There's an opportunity to take a podium spot. How are you selling your soul to make that happen?
Say that last bit again.
How much are you selling your soul to make it happen?
I just don't want to come fourth again.
That was the team green. Not fourth.
But no, that was fun on the road. Like, I was catching Tim a little bit, and then it's kind of just close your eyes and hang on. But we've all done a great job. Jess has done a great job coming in last minute, and like we've all performed really well. So hopefully we can bring it home just like the football.
Let's see where they will end up. Hopefully not fourth again, Charlie Botwell says. But look at what's happening on the floor. We see Yannick Schapler, who had a stronger run than JK. He closed the gap already. And now let's look back at last year's World Championship in Chicago. The drama in the doubles race with Tim Venish, where Yannick Schapler cost multiple penalties early in the race. And then halfway through, after being just slumped over and not motivated at all, it clicked within him. And this was one of the stations where he went absolutely ballistic and helped secure the doubles title for Tim and him. And look at how close he's gotten already now on JK. Look at the pain, look at the fight of those two amazing athletes there right now. Not to forget, of course, you mentioned it, Harry Thompson, Sean. Harry Thompson as well in the doubles race. You know, if you look at it, look in the middle of the race, like he was really suffering. And then in the later half, he came through.
Yeah, he's probably one of the strongest on the lunges. He's probably stronger, in HYROX, I'd say he's probably one of the strongest. But what I'm seeing here from Yannick is incredible. There's a bit of fight here with Yannick, so he's after closing the gap. He's attacking these like he's a point to prove, so yeah, great to see.
And that leaves us with one station after these wall balls, and what a showdown this is going to be. The defending world champion is going to see Jess Patro, and for Germany, we're going to see Linda Meyer at the wall balls, hopefully today, way shorter than we did in the individuals race. For England, it's going to be Lucy Proctor, and I'm just going to use the word cycle speed. I'm going to say it because it is so important at the wall balls. And Lucy Proctor had an average under 1.8 seconds. So you do the math. If you're up at the normal average of about 2 seconds, that is 0.22. That's 5 reps for 1 second.
Exactly.
That's a lot of time you can make up within 100 reps there. Here we go, Jess Patro, Linda Meyer out onto that run. And one thing we've seen from Jess Patro throughout the races here is how comfortable she looked on those runs.
She is a fantastic athlete. I was chatting with her this afternoon. Sean, you were there as well. We were chatting with her and she said, I hope there's at least 5 teams at the wall balls and we're neck and neck. And I was like, please don't do that to all of us. Please just have a clear leader. But she has got what she wanted. She's going to have her friends Linda Meyer and Lucy Proctor right there with her.
And we're seeing most of the team still down here at the lunges. Team Canada, Team Belgium, Team New Zealand, the United States. Jack Driscoll for them right now. But this is Jess Patro absolutely flying. She's pulling away from Linda Meyer. Australia is on a mission to defend the title.
Jess has a background in track, and so she is very strong at these shorter distances. That's what she grew up doing. She loves explosive work. She loves power work. So this is really an opportunity for her to stretch her legs and show us what she can do.
And if you look at the names that we're going to see at those wall balls, right? Annie Amelson, for example, for Sweden. Thomas Truedig for the Czech Republic. Lauren Weeks for the United States. We're going to see Lucy Proctor, Jess Patro, Linda Meyer, Ida Matilda Stansgaard, Miriam van Rohe. I mean, is there even a chance, Greg, if you look at these athletes, to really make up any significant time?
Well, we know a lot can happen at the wall balls. We know someone like Miriam van Rohe can make up a lot of time in a typical race. She's probably one of the best wall ballers we've seen in the sport, probably in the world in reality. But I think the gap is probably too big for these countries to make up on the wall balls. I think it's between Australia, Germany and England now.
Yeah, but we always love creating a duel that isn't there, but I think the gap is just too big to really make this up, to think that anybody can come from behind. As we're seeing Camilla Massa and Melanie Maurer, Italy and Switzerland in the picture. Jess Patro is looking around. How big is the gap on Linda Meyer? Linda Meyer just now coming around the turn in the background there, still holding off Lucy Proctor by a couple of seconds. So Jess Patro really putting herself in a fantastic position there. If you look at the women behind coming around, you would think that is probably somewhere in the range of, I want to say 7-ish to 10 reps by the time she gets to the wall balls.
I reckon there's about 10-15 seconds in between it. It looks a lot, worse than it is because when you're out on the track like that, but I reckon she's probably 10-15 seconds ahead.
Yeah, so that's going to be about a few more, but let's listen to Matt Locke.
Team South Africa, red card, no hip extension.
All right, red card for Team South Africa, no hip extension, but the showdown has arrived to the wall balls. Jazz Petro, here comes Linda Meyer. What a different wall ball experience compared to the individuals race for her right now. And Lucy Proctor running through the background. Here she comes into the workout. She's got the work cut out for her right now. There is no doubt the top three, this right now, is the fight for the medals in the Mixed Relay Invitational World Championship. 3 no reps on the side of Team Australia, 3 on Germany.
And you are not putting that ball down until you're done at this point.
It's incredible, though, what sport can do. Linda Meyer has an opportunity here to redeem herself. She's, I think, putting in a great cadence here, so hopefully she can keep it up. But yeah, sport has a way of giving you a second opportunity in every event.
Absolutely, but don't underestimate Lucy Proctor. She had incredible wall balls before here in Stockholm, and she has 0 no reps so far. She is working those wall balls like an absolute machine again. 25 1/4 after 100 in, but Team Australia with Jazz Petro looking at close to 40 reps right now. In terms of speed, it just looks pretty similar. There isn't a lot of movement right now. So the 2 things that will possibly come in is slowing down with fatigue or a lack of precision.
Yeah, absolutely. It's no reps are going to be the difference here. So we're seeing that Jess Petro has 5 no reps right now, but she's also got the most amount of reps total. So it's almost proportionate. My maths is terrible, but it's going to be precision and it's going to be those no reps.
Lauren Weeks coming in for Team USA. And Team Belgium coming in as well with Margot van der Lindeloof.
And look at Lauren Weeks' high position in holding that ball there. She's dropping into the squat as the ball is coming down. She's not dropping her arms at all, which means she's putting a lot less pressure on her upper body. She is just a machine at this.
And it's quite interesting, you know, you see all those videos of people giving the good advice, like that is the best technique, you know, you need to keep the ball open. All I'm saying is, as an average age group athlete, try. It takes a lot to keep that ball in that position where Lauren Weeks is keeping it.
Agree. Yeah.
But we are 80 reps in for Team Australia. But behind, Lucy Proctor has not given up on silver in the fight against Germany yet.
And Germany is not giving up on a shot at gold right now. Linda Meyer has not slowed down. It's just that Jess Petro has not slowed down, and neither has Lucy Proctor.
No, it's like every time Jess Petro's getting a no rep, Linda Meyer's kind of matching it there. We're still at 0 no reps for England, but we're going into the final countdown of the final race here at the PUMA HYROX World Championship in Stockholm, with a mere 3 reps left for Jess Petro and Team Australia. And the final gold medal of the PUMA HYROX World Championship 2026 goes to Team Australia.
Aussie, Aussie, Aussie.
What a race for Jess Petro.
What an effort by
Linda. Sheridan, James Kelly and Johnny Wayne with Germany taking silver, and Lucy Proctor celebrating bronze for Team England. What an incredible final race of this World Championship here.
12 unreal athletes working together there for such an exciting outcome.
And Sean, gold is always great, but looking at the athletes right now, it looks like everybody is very happy with where they are.
Yeah, you're seeing athletes that raced 3 times this weekend, so I think they're just relieved. They're relieved it's over. But no, fair play. A lot of happy athletes out there.
A lot of happy athletes out there, and of course we want to look at the nations behind. Look at that, Margot van der Lindeloof is not backing down in the duel against none other than Lauren Weeks, who has an unusual 5 no reps right now. So a lot of happening there, but then Team Canada, you know, still in a position to make a move there right now with Lindsay Bisigato. This is coming off a only 1 workout break. This is absolutely incredible. But 9 no reps might just be too much.
And 14 no reps for Team Sweden there, which means that they came in to this station in 6th, but they've now fallen to 7th and potentially 8th.
But as we're getting ready to welcome the United States in 4th, Lauren Weeks bringing it across the line for the team, for Dylan Scott, Catherine Fassbender, Jack Driscoll. Team Sweden, if you look at Hugo Jutmark has handed over after the sled push. That's been an incredible effort to make it back to that position. As we got Belgium coming across the line, Margot van der Lindeloof with a fantastic round of wall balls there. She managed to hold off Team Canada and Lindsay Basigato despite her best efforts. Team Sweden won under race, but they got a 15-second penalty, but it will be enough because New Zealand's got the penalty there as well. Annie Hamilton in the picture here. Watch her very carefully, watch her career. We'll be seeing a lot of her throughout the next coming months and a year. The former CrossFitter turned HYROX athlete. And here we go, Sean, Team Ireland. Let's bring them across the line.
Very happy with that performance. Very proud. They did really, really good. A very strong finish there from Aoife as well.
Just for future reference, was that an Irish person being ecstatic right now?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Then we all know. Miriam von Rohr, we've spoken about, Calypso Sheridan as a jack of all trades, but Miriam von Rohr, I mean, we've seen her across so many HYROX races, Greg, and then she set one of the CrossFit workouts. She set the worldwide best there at the season, and now here she is again racing at the HYROX World Championship.
Yeah, phenomenal athlete. I love seeing her racing HYROX. I think she was European champion back in 2022 at a race in Maastricht. She's very different to a lot of the athletes we see nowadays. She really excels at the stations and then isn't so quick as some other athletes on the runs. But she made it so exciting because it was always, like I said earlier, a bit of a game of cat and mouse with a lot of the athletes, especially at the end of the race. Her lunges and her wall balls are absolutely incredible. So, yeah, love seeing her and love seeing everything she's now doing.
Ida Stanscott coming through the picture here in the bluish lavender top. Gloria Corbetta for Team Italy, serving a penalty the way it looks. Vicky McIntosh for South Africa, here she goes. Team South Africa coming in. Penalties being served down there at the finish line right now. It is an incredibly long penalty for Gloria Corbetta. We can see her from up here in discussions right now with the referees. She's waiting for her time to go. Team Spain is across the line. Team France coming across the line here as well, as Italy is still weighted down there. And again, we're seeing a little bit of drama happening there as we got Alex Ronkovic, Tanja Strohschneider, so Team Austria here coming in with Rene Groning and Alice Schura. Another one of the whole household names here in the world of HYROX racing. And let's try to get the Irishman ecstatic one more time, because his second pick, Scotland, is about to cross the finish line here in a moment.
I don't think it was their best race now, in fairness, but I think they're just enjoying the experience. They have their kilts on, their culture on show, so yeah. But I'm very happy about Ireland still. Thank you so much.
Absolutely, it was a fantastic race. And look at the smiles there. I mean, that just says it all, how much fun this relay is.
That's someone hurt right there.
Team Netherlands now on the way as well across the finish line. I don't think apologies are needed right now. They are a team. They had so much fun going into this here. And I mean, you face off athletes like Hidde Versma, who set the world record and held it for a couple of weeks in January. And Gloria Corbetta for Italy. That must have felt like an eternity standing down there, waiting for that penalty to pass. Eugenio Bianchi in there as well, Camilla Massa.
I don't know what the penalty was for, but maybe it was for a missed lap.
It could be something like that. It was a very long penalty. But, of course, we want to hear from the defending champions down at the finish line.
Team Australia, you are the World Relay Champions. Jess Petro, you defended a title, but that feels pretty good.
It does, yeah. We obviously came in from being the World Champions last year, and we were gunning for it again this year, and pull it off feels pretty special.
John, you took on the ergs. You were incredibly powerful. Talk me through what it finally means to make it onto this team and execute in the way you did.
Yeah, it's great. I've been waiting a few seasons for this. I finally get the opportunity. I knew it was going to hurt. My job was just to not give up too much time, to be honest. I just need to hold on and just give a good enough time for the other team members to take over and do their job.
Well, they certainly did do their job. Calypso, what a weekend you're having! But closing it out with a relay, I mean, how were you able to push in the way that you did tonight, given what you've done this weekend?
Yeah, I was just so excited to do it for Australia, and I think John and I, first time in the relay, we had a lot of big shoes to fill, and I'm so glad we got to do it. That was the hardest HYROX race I've ever done, and I got off that sled push and I couldn't walk, like hardly at all, and I was told I wouldn't be able to, and I didn't believe it, and I felt it.
Good thing you can run in the farmer's carry though, because that was rapid. JK, you've been part of many a relay team. How does this one compare?
This one's really special. It's not only obviously being a part of this crew here, the three of us, the four of us, but representing Australia. It means so much to me. It's obviously my third in a row, but hey, it means a lot to me. And I'll even say it means a lot to share this with John. We've had our past, but hey, like he's waited 3 years to be a part of this team, and he rightly deserved it this year. And he did his job, and we're champions once again.
Yeah, you are. One final question to all of you. Are you ready for the after party?
Sure.
Great job.
I cannot even imagine what this must feel like for Johnny Wynn right now with his entire story, not just his life story that you can all find on YouTube. We've spoken about this before, but his relay story as well. His move in the family across the country just before the major in Melbourne, going back to his home country, missing out on the individuals, missing out in, well, controversial, dramatic fashion on the relay in previous years. And here he is coming over for 2 workouts, and he's going home with a world champion title.
It's an absolutely fantastic story, and I love seeing him out there, not just because he has beautiful erg technique and power, but because he got to be a part of this team that ended up taking the win.
Greg, it's just an amazing thing to watch. I'm tempted to ask you again, what was the highlight of your week here? If we look at it, here we go into the final wall balls for Team Mexico. Oh, there's a penalty, the way it looks. Being called back to sit out the penalty. The Latino go. Incredible. Mexico across the line. And as you can see, exactly what we had in the pre-show and everything as well in the interviews. It's really just, you know, vida pura out there. It is just the best time, enjoying life. It's beautiful.
Yeah, and I've got to say, that Australia team, we talked about John Wynn, the shift that he put in, but all of those team members, Calypso Sheridan, what she done on the farmer's carry there, she gained over like 13, 14 seconds, I think, on Germany and England alone there, and the gap was less than that as they crossed the finish lines. On the farmer's carry alone, JK on the burpees, the run coming into the burpees, and then super fast burpees, and then Jess looked so strong. Like you said, she comes from that running background. She looked really like she was enjoying those 1K runs, and then finished really, really strongly on the wall ball. So yeah, really impressive all round from that team.
And if we just look at some of the stories there as Mexico is celebrating, we've seen some redemption. We've spoken to John about Johnny Wynn, long-term redemption, definite redemption for Linda Meyer there. After all, bringing home a medal from this World Championship. She said it very clearly after the individuals race in her statement, like, I will be back. You know, I've gotten over this. And as we're looking at Mexico, we're excited after this 4-day racing weekend here to welcome Lauren back in the studio with the performance of the day, a sprint from the floor all the way up here. Lauren, just quickly, you were right in it. We were buzzing up here. How did that feel?
Honestly, I just love this format of racing. As Jane said in the commentary, how good would it be to see this at every single major? It completely puts people under different types of pressures. And actually, it was nowhere near as like I don't know, edgy in that technical zone as I thought it would be. Everybody was very switched on to their task at hand. And actually their recovery rate was much faster than I anticipated. But probably because I'll base that off my own recovery, which quite frankly, after running 4 flights up, I'm really struggling with.
I feel like this was the second petition now for mixed relays in the majors. I've heard that before in commentary. Let's see, as we take a look at the results here, of course, we've seen Australia, Germany, and England, but we want to look at the nations behind. United States with Lauren Weeks finishing off an incredible world championship here. Belgium, Canada, our hosts, Sweden, with a fantastic second half after slight struggles from Hugo Juchmark at the sleds. Well, if you leave him off the ski erg, that is your own fault. Ireland, we heard it from Sean Noble, brought across the line, the Czech Republic. Denmark in 10th.
And England didn't come fourth. Their only goal.
They reached their only goal. Switzerland, you know, with Miriam van Rooyen. That was incredible to watch, Lauren.
It's so exciting to see Miriam van Rooyen back on this stage. Greg alluded to it earlier. She now has this entire career away from HYROX, yet she keeps coming back. And there's something really special about that.
You look at Italy, you know, Gloria Corbetta with a 3-minute penalty there. They would have been about 5-6 positions higher. That was a long time there. And then Mexico rounding out the podium and rounding out the final race of this final chapter. We had all the amazing chapters throughout the season, our majors. Look at the beautiful pictures, the celebration. I think it reflects the spirit of this world championship just perfectly.
Yeah, absolutely. Everyone just had a fantastic time. I think they're glad it's over maybe with all the racing that they've done, but it's been a fantastic time and everyone's getting on so well. Great community spirit across the weekend.
And it's fair to say this has only just been the beginning. The World Championship in Hong Kong has been announced for next season. There will be incredible races on the way there. We want to thank our viewers for joining us over 3 days of live streaming. Incredible races. Jane, thank you very much to you. Lauren, a jack of all trades in the commentary who's been everywhere. Great as always, Greg. Thank you so much. Have a lovely night and see you from the next races.
We're at the finish line in Stockholm. Every single detail has been refined. I'm glad to have the best kit in the game to help me prepare and hopefully help me get on the podium. When it comes to the sled push, really focus on keeping everything flat. That way you're wasting less energy. The main thing on the sled pull is rope management. Make sure it stays to one side like that. Loop it and repeat the process. With the farmers, I want to make sure that I've got a good grip, get your hands around and then keep the kettlebells straight as you walk. The sandbag lunges. The tip I learned, train tracks, not tie ropes, keeping your feet shoulder width apart. So if you're on a tie rope, your feet go in front and you're much more unstable. With the wall balls, once you lose control of your breathing, that's when you're going to have to put the ball down. So exhale and then inhale on the way down. If you can do that for the full 100 reps, you should be golden. Good luck, go smash it, and most importantly, do it with a smile on your face.